Hi everybody, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. Today it is time for my March TBR. Can we take just a minute to revel in the fact that we're almost done with the first quarter of the year? How did that happen? Am I the only person that snuck up on? I cannot believe that it is already time for March. It just blows my mind. But today, we are going to talk about all of the books that I am hoping to get to in March. And I do say hoping because I have kind of been failing at my TBRs lately. And there's a number of reasons for that. There's been a lot of stuff going on with my health where I'm having to go back and forth to the hospital. And that leads to me straying from my TBR because I'm doing whatever I can find for free on Audible to play in the car and in the waiting room and stuff like that was not originally in the TBRs. And also, big exciting news. I have decided to self-publish my first book, and I am in the process of getting everything together for that. And it's super exciting, but kind of scary at the same time. And so there's just a lot going on right now that has been leading me to completely stray from my TBRs. So I am no longer going to say that I am for sure going to get to these books. I'm just going to say that I very much hope that I am going to because I really want to. So let's go ahead and get started. The first book that I'm hoping to get to this month is The Drawing of the Three by Stephen King. This is the second book in the Dark Tower series, and I really have no clue what The Drawing of the Three is about. I honestly don't really care. I very much enjoyed the first book, The Gunslinger. And I vlogged my experience reading that, so go and check that vlog out if you haven't seen it already. I plan on vlogging my experience reading this book as well. And I completely meant to put it on my TBR last month, and I forgot. And I'm so upset with myself because I don't want to wait too long lest I forget what happened in that book and it leads to confusion in the next book. I just don't need that, right? I just don't need that. So I need to kind of make it a priority for March because I read The Gunslinger in January. But I am looking forward to this so much. Everybody says that The Gunslinger is the weakest book in that series, and I liked it. So I am just pumped for the rest of the series. The next three books that I am hoping to get to this month are for a Reading 3 vlog, and this time it is going to be Reading 3 romances, which I have not done yet. I've been promising I'm going to do that, but I haven't done it, and now it's finally time. So the first book that I am planning on reading for my Reading 3 romance vlog is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I honestly don't know too much about what this is about. I've recently been resparked in romance. I went through a period where I really enjoyed them, and then I just stopped reading them, and I'm not even really sure why. And then I didn't read any romances for a long time, so it's like there's a lot of authors that I need to get acquainted with because I've never had a chance to read them. And one of those is Casey McQuiston. I see her pop up all over the place. She's all over Instagram. She's all over TikTok. She is all over YouTube. And I have not read a single Casey McQuiston book. And one that I see highly recommended a lot is One Last Stop. So I have put that baby onto my Kindle, and I'm very, very excited to be getting to it. The next book that I plan on reading is The Sweetest Fix by Tessa Bailey. Again, I did not read what this was about. I have read Tessa Bailey before. I read her last year. I forget what the name of the series is, but it was One Last Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker. And the books followed two different sisters. So one book followed primarily one sister. The next book followed the other sister. And I don't remember what the actual name of the series was, though, but I really, really enjoyed that. And I'm like, hey, I want to check out some more Tessa Bailey. And I looked for what I could find on Kindle Unlimited. This one looked cute. I like the cover, which I will typically say don't judge a book by its cover, but I mean, it is primarily why I picked this one. I just thought it looked cute. And the next book that I plan on reading for that vlog is The Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn. This, I feel like the title kind of speaks for itself. I think it's going to be two people that don't stand each other, or it's going to be like sticky circumstances with the way that they meet. I'm there for it. I'm going to jam with it. And I just am thrilled to be getting to this one. Okay, and next we are going to get into some embarrassing territory. For the third month in a row, Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas is on my TBR. And possibly even Heir of Fire. As of the date that I am recording this, I haven't finished Heir of Fire yet, but I'm hoping to by the end of the month. So that's why I'm not including it in this TBR. If I do not finish it, it's going to be in March as well. I don't want to wait too long, like I did before, to read these two books, because I don't want to forget everything that happened in Throne of Glass, in Crown of Midnight, in Assassin's Bleed. I don't want to forget what happened in all of those books and be so confused going into these two big chunkers. So I'm trying very, very hard to prioritize them. But the fact of the matter is they are chunkers, they are long, and I have not had the time between the book that I'm working on, between my crazy hospital health stuff. It just hasn't lent itself to big, thick books. Audio? Sure. I've been rocking my audio lately. It's just one of those things where I can't help it as much as I would love to. I'm really, really going to try my hardest for March, but I have decided, I've made an executive decision that if I do not complete them in March, I'm going to stop putting them on TBRs. And that does not mean that I'm not going to read them. It just means that I'm going to stop boring you guys about saying the same thing in every month's TBR video. And you'll just be surprised when they eventually pop up again. Okay. Here is one that's making me nervous. And if you have followed me for a while, you probably know why. Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. If you've been following me for a little bit, you probably know I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with Riley Sager's books. Some of them I have really enjoyed. Home Before Dark? Yes, please. Final Girls? Oh my gosh. Couldn't stand The Last Time I Lied. DNF'd it. House Across the Lake? I'm still in shock after reading that book. It was my least favorite of last year. And I went through a little bit of a period where I was like, should I even continue to read Riley Sager? And I seriously considered stopping, but he does have a few gems in there. So I told myself, hey, it's like, you only have 2 backlist books you haven't read yet. At least finish those before you decide going forward. One of the ones that I had not got to yet was Lock Every Door. I love this cover. And I love the premise of it. Like, this girl is taking on a house sitter position, and it's kind of giving me Rear Window vibes, Alfred Hitchcock, which that's just from the synopsis. I really don't know. That's just what it makes me think of. And I'm there for that. Like, Riley Sager has this way of his plot lines sounding really, really intriguing, and then when I'm actually reading the book, I'm just kind of like, yeah, what is this? So I'm so scared of that with this. In a lot of ways, I do think that this sounds right up my alley. It sounds like an isolated setting. You guys know that I love that kind of thing. So this sounds like something that I should like in theory, But after what happened with the house across the lake, I'm skeptical, to put it nicely. I am very, very skeptical of this. I only have this one and Survive the Night. I've heard mixed reviews on this one. Survive the Night, I didn't see very many people liking that one, so I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like that one. This one, I feel like it could go either way. So I'm a little bit nervous. I just, yeah. And his new one that's coming up, I actually put it on my highly anticipated reads video. It sounds like it's inspired by Lizzie Borden. I like that case. I'm really into true crime. So, that was kind of making me want to give him another chance too, because I'm like, oh, it's like it's taking vibes from that, so it's going to be really cool. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But I'm kind of regretting my life's choices with this, but at least it seems like it should be relatively quick to get through. It seems kind of short, so it has that going for it. And the next book that I'm hoping to get to this month was my book of the month pick this month, The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. Never read Julia Bartz before. I picked this solely based on the synopsis. It's about a writer who had given up on her career, and she's offered to go out to this writing retreat, and everybody there has to complete a full-length novel in a month's time, and the winner will get a 7-figure publishing deal. So this is like a dream come true for most authors. And I felt like this sounded relatable to me a lot. I mean, I would love to go on a writing retreat and have something like that happen. So that is mainly what drew me into this. And I have seen a lot of good reviews about it. I purposely haven't watched any reviews on YouTube because I don't want to be spoiled. I haven't gotten to it yet. But on like TikTok and Instagram, like people are raving about this, like, oh my gosh, it's so good. So I have a lot of high hopes for it, and I'm kind of thinking that it's going to be a new favorite, so I'm very excited for that. Okay, the next 2 books are part of my 6-month reading unhaul challenge. Read it or unhaul it. And the first one of those is Cutting Edge by Ward Larson. In this, we are following a military vet who is in a car accident, and he is rescued by this woman who lets slip that he has been legally declared dead, and he is kind of at her mercy. This is giving me major Misery vibes by Stephen King, with like a few details changed, like instead of a writer, it's military, but either way, it seems like dude's in a car accident, nurse saves him, nobody knows he's alive. Isolated. It kind of sounds like up my alley a little bit. I am worried about the military aspect of it because I tend to not really enjoy the things about war as much. So I don't know how big of an element that's going to be in this book, but like the car accident, the isolated setting, the nurse, like that sounds interesting to me. And I'm interested to see what I think about it. And the next book I will be reading for that challenge is I'll Eat When I'm Dead by Barbara Borland. This, I really don't know how I'm going to feel about this one. This takes place in a fashion magazine headquarters thing where one of their executives dies in a conference room, and it is like attributed to her eating disorder, but we find out later that the eating disorder has nothing to do with it. It sounds kind of confusing. It sounds kind of weird, but at the same time, kind of interesting because it's unique. I mean, you don't really hear that all the time. So, I'm interested to see how I'll feel about this one. I honestly don't know. I feel like this could go either way. I'm not typically big on stuff about fashion. I'm not typically big on stuff that focuses on beauty standards. And so that part of it makes me believe that I might not like this very much, but the suspense of the situation, it sounds really cool. It sounds unique. That everybody thinks it's this one thing, but it's really something else. And I'm interested to see why they thought that it was the one thing. Um, like, what led them to believe that? I need to know. So, regardless of how I think I'll feel about this, I am interested to read it and see how I feel about it. And last but certainly not least, I am planning on reading Shiver by Lisa Jackson. This will be on Audible, and this is the third book in the New Orleans series. The first two were Hot Blooded and Cold Blooded, both of which I really enjoyed, and followed lead investigators on different cases. And I'm assuming that's going to be the tradition that keeps up, that it's going to be these investigators, Benson Montoya, and it's going to be a completely different case. That's what I'm assuming. I like their personalities a lot, especially Vince. So I am intrigued to keep on going with that series. I haven't actually read a synopsis for it. I don't feel like I need to. I loved the first two books, and that's all that I really need to know. Okay, so that is all that I have for you guys today. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, like, comment, follow me on the social medias, click that bell if you want to be notified of all of my upcoming videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.